Hello, everyone. So I wanted to just kind of video teach you this lesson today. I know you've already tried the solve and share. So now I'm going to go through and walk you through how to actually, what the solve and share would actually be. So look at your work, compare it, see what you did right, see what you did wrong. Then we'll go from there and do some practice with estimation today. Share my screen, and here we go. So here is the here's the question. It says Alex has 5 cups of strawberries. He wants to use 1 3/4 cups of strawberries for a fruit salad and 3.5 cups for jam. Does Alex have enough strawberries to make enough of both recipes? Solve this problem any way you choose. Now, I like to think about this problem visually. So the first thing I actually do is that the right button? Changed it. Is I'm gonna draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares to represent my 5 cups of strawberries. Then I see that he needs to use 1 3/4 and 3/2. So I know he needs to at least use 1 cup. So I'm crossing that out. Then he needs to use 3 more cups. So I'm crossing 1, 2, 3 out. All I have left is 1 whole cup of strawberries. I still need 3/4 and 1/2. So if I still need 3/4 and 1/2, I know that right here is 3/4. Do I have a half right here remaining? No, I don't. So just based off the visual, I can tell clearly that Alex does not have enough to make his jam. All right, I'm going to go to the next screen, which is going to walk you through just kind of what this kid Scott said. Okay, Alex, this is what it says. Alex has 5 cups of strawberries. He needs 1 3/4 cups and 3.5 cups for the recipes. 3 and 1 is 4, and that's what I showed earlier with the visual. That just leaves 1 more cup. And 3/4 plus 1/2 will be bigger than 1 more cup because 1/2 plus 1/2 are 1 whole, and 3/2 is bigger than 1/2. So Alex needs more than 5 cups. He does not have enough strawberries. Fun fact, he just needs a fourth more of a cup of strawberries to have enough. If the problem said he started with 6, then he would have had plenty. You can see the visual right there. You see they took the 4 away. There's that part. You see he didn't have enough. Okay. So what we're doing, there's the different standards of mathematical practice. And what we're really doing today is focusing on, does the problem make sense? Okay. I think too often, like, this is not going to be a very computation heavy lesson today. It's going to be more of a thinking and estimation type lesson. So it will be a little different for you. So we have 2 and 4/6, which is right there, and 3, which is right there. 2 and 4/6 is close to 3. Okay. They're close to each other. And you can see that it's actually closer to 2.5. Now I want to walk you guys through this question about the dress and jacket chart. We're actually be going back and forth today between this chart, looking at multiple different ways to solve the problem. So Jamel's mom wants to make a size 10 dress, and about how many yards of fabric does she need? Okay, so she's making a size 10 dress and jacket. That is referring to these numbers right here, 2 and 1/4 and 1 and 5/8. So she's combining those two. So go ahead and write down in your notebooks 2 and 1/4 plus 1 and 5/8. So I want you to write those two numbers down because that's what we're going to add to estimate about how much she needs. So we're going to do it to the nearest half or the nearest whole. Okay, so we said 2 and 1/4. No, 2 and 1/4, 1 and 5/8. All right. First thing I do is I look at my whole numbers and I see that I have 1, 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. So I have 1/4 plus 5/8. All right. So I know that 1/4 is kind of in between 0 and 1/2. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that it's closest to 1/2. 5/8 is closest to 1/2. Now, how do you know that? Because 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2. So if 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2, just one more means it's going to be pretty close. So now for my estimation, I'm doing 3 plus 1/2 plus 1/2, which 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole. She needs about 4 yards of fabric. Okay. So I'm going to back up and explain what I did one more time because I know it's a little bit on the thought side just to make sure you guys understand. So I'm doing 2 and 1/4 plus 1 and 5/8. I'm estimating. First thing I do is I go ahead and add my two whole numbers. 2 plus 1 is 3. Then I have 1/4 plus 5/8. Remember, I'm estimating. 1/4 is closest to 1/2. 5/8 is closest to 1/2. So 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. 3 plus 1 equals 4. All right, I'm going to go switch back to my word problems. All right, let's look at the next one. Oh, this shows you the estimate, just so you guys can see it. So you guys see that the 1 and 1 and 1/4, 1 plus 5/8. You can see how close it is. All right. So now we're going to do this one. About how much more fabric will be needed to make a size 14 dress than a size 10 dress? About how much more? Think for about 30 seconds. What operation are we using? Okay, hopefully you said subtraction because we're looking at about how much more right there. Okay. And we're looking at the size 10 and 14 dress. So 2 and 7/8 minus 2 and 1/4. Okay. So 2 and 7/8 minus 2 and 1/4. First thing I do is I go ahead and subtract my whole numbers. I see that I have a 2 and a 2. 2 minus 2, y'all just say it out loud. What is it? And everyone said 0. So we basically are taking out the 2's. Now we have 7/8 minus 1/4. Now 7/8, think about how much closer 7/8 is to 1 whole. Is that closer to 1 whole or close to 1/2? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. Yeah, it's closer to 1 whole because one more is 8/8. So that means it's closer. We're going to do 1 whole. And then we just talked about 1/4 a moment ago being closest to 1/2. So 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. Okay, so you have 1/2 remaining. Take a moment to make sure you have all that written down. Okay, so I'll go through and walk through the problem. I'll just write it down one more time just to make sure you have everything copied in your notebook. Can I give you guys about 30 seconds to make sure you have everything written down? Right, I'm gonna go ahead and clear this off, and we can go to the next problem. Okay, now we're gonna look at this one. It says about how much more fabric will be needed to make a size 14 dress, a size 10 dress, and a size 10 jacket. So I want us to make sure I circle for you guys. Think about the numbers that we're using. So we're using the size 10 dress and the jacket, and we're doing a size 14 dress. Now, about how much fabric will be needed to make all the above. So think about real quick, if we're looking to see how much total fabric we need, what are we going to do? Right, we're going to add these numbers together. So go ahead and write down 2 1/4 plus 1 5/8 plus 2 7/8. Okay. All right. So, like I said before, the first thing we want to do is we just want to add up our whole numbers. We have one, we have two, one, and two. So, think 2 plus 1 plus 2. What's that equal? Write it down real quick. It equals 5. Okay. So, you have that equaling 5. Now we're doing 1/4 plus 5/8 plus 7/8. Now remember, we're estimating. So I don't need to convert anything or match anything up at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and think. Remember, we talked about a second ago, 1/4 was closest to what? 0 or a half? Anybody? Right, 1/2. So you have 1/2 plus 5/8. Remember, we said that was closest to what again? 1/2. And then 7/8 was closest to 1 whole. So then you have 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1. We know that a half plus a half is a whole. So then you have 1 plus 1, which is 2. So our estimate is now we have 5 and we have 2. And then that means our estimate is 7 yards. So she needs about 7 yards to be able to make those two items. I'm going to give everyone 30 seconds to make sure you've taken the time to copy everything down. All right, we're going to go to the next one together. Okay, we're going to do this you do together. And I want you guys to try it. I'm going to ask that the video be paused for a moment and give you guys about 3 minutes to try this problem. After you after the 3 minutes, I'll show you how to do it. Okay. So go ahead and let me read the problem. After I finish reading the problem, you guys will solve. Miss Peoples had 6 cups of sugar to make cakes. She used 1 1/4 for the first batch. She used 2 4/8 for the second batch. Estimated Miss Peoples had enough sugar to bake the cakes. Explain your reasoning. All right, video is going to pause now for 3 minutes and go. Pause. All right, go ahead. If it's not been paused yet, pause it now because I'm getting ready to explain it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So, first thing I would do in solving this problem, I see that it says that she needs 5 cups of sugar. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw the 6 cups of sugar, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes to represent my 6 cups. Okay. Now, I see that she needs 1 1/4 for the first, 2 4/8 for the second. So right there, I see this 1 and 2. That tells me she definitely needs 3. So 1, 2, 3. Just took away 3 cups. Okay. Now I got to see if she has enough. Now I see that I need 1/4 plus 1 4/8. Okay. Now 1/4, as we discussed earlier, is closest to 1/2. 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2. So now I'm just thinking 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole. And I see that she would still have an estimated of 2 cups remaining. So if she's got 2 cups remaining, that means she definitely has enough sugar to bake the cakes. All right. So make sure you got that written down. All right. So real quick, just want to talk about today's independent practice. It's estimation. It's all about what the closest answer is. My recommendation is do your best work, try as hard as you can. You're estimating, draw things out that'll help you estimate the best. And then afterwards, practice on Dreambox. Okay. So definitely take advantage of the practice, get as much as you can done. And then we will definitely go over more of it next week. All right. Or tomorrow or whenever I see you again. All right. You guys have a good one. See you later.